You survived the workday. Now survive the truth.
Don't you want to have the best 12 teams in college football playing each other?
It's time for the hardest hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest wasabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live and local right here on this Wednesday. Raining a little bit, sunny a little bit. That's Florida, baby. We're so glad that you joined us today on this all right day here at Panama City Beach. Don't forget the Braves will not be on the air today. We will get them back up tomorrow, right after the show tomorrow. The Braves will be, hopefully, we'll be looking at them here in just a moment to see if they're playing, making sure what's going on with them. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. As always, on a Wednesday, I got Mickey in the house. Jeffrey, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
You look good, man. You like Disney?
I do like Disney, yeah.
Are you one of those guys that goes to Disney every year?
No.
Like once a year?
No.
No?
No.
I mean, do you still take pictures with the cast?
The characters.
Characters?
Some of them. Depends who they are. You know.
Okay, so who?
You got to be discretionary.
Okay, who? Okay.
Well, Mickey's cool, right?
Okay.
I mean, who are you? I don't know. Who are you into? Donald Duck?
No, I'm not into any of them.
Yeah.
I don't
Little Mermaid?
No. We went to Disney one time, and my youngest, he was a little, I don't know, maybe 3 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And the Little Mermaid actually kissed him on the cheek and left her red lipstick on his face all day. I would imagine that's probably one of your favorite characters.
No, but I'll tell you, I have a really great picture with both my daughters and I, and Buzz Lightyear and Woody. And they're like my height, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they were kind of tall, and my little one was like little bitty, like she was like two. She was a little over 2.5 years old, and she was tiny. But the way she looked back up while the picture is being taken, and just like a big old smile, just looking at the character, it's a great picture. I'll treasure that one forever.
Yeah. So, do you take pictures now as you're an adult? Not
Sure,
with the
why
kids.
not? Sure,
Really?
not. If we're passing up Darth Vader, sure.
Okay. Wow.
Because that's the cool thing.
I can't believe that.
Now that they have the Star Wars area and everything, and they have Darth Vader and the Stormtroopers and all that, the Stormtroopers are the most hilarious thing ever.
Yeah.
Because the way they interact, you know, they ask for people's ID and everything, and they clown around. And it's freaking great.
Okay. Well,
Love
I
it.
didn't know.
Yeah.
With you calling Troy Aikman pretty yesterday, I didn't know whether or not I just didn't know. I didn't know what was going on.
You thought Chewbacca was taking pictures with me.
Probably so. As always, on a Wednesday, got the Bone of Crushers here. How you doing, Bone Crusher?
Dude, the air conditioner just went out.
Did it?
We're going down.
Oh, no. We're all right.
We're all right. He's brushing it off.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
He's like, I played football in hotter weather than
I'm
this.
tough.
Yes.
But so either way, I just wanted to find out you having the Mickey shirt on. I know that a lot of people go down to Orlando, and so that's pretty cool. I didn't know you were into the characters like that.
Have you ever done Medieval Times? Do you know what that is? It was in that movie Cable Guy with Jim Carrey.
Where they joust each other?
Yeah, the jousting and all that.
No, I've never.
I haven't been to that either. That's in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
And they have these dinner experiences like that are really cool. And I went to one. I did not go to Medieval Times yet. Probably will go at some point. But they have a thing called Capone's.
Okay.
and it's a gangster thing. They have people acting up on stage and everything, and it's like the mafia and then the cops and everything, and it's a pretty cool thing. And of course, they got an Italian dinner, you know.
There you go. All
Yeah,
right.
it's
Well,
pretty cool.
we got a great show ahead. Obviously, we got Aaron Bearden coming on at 4:20. But at the top of the hour, we got Joe Zagacki, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes. He's going to be joining us at 5 o'clock today. So make sure that you are here for that.
So is the Wilson bump going to keep on going to next
don't
year?
know.
Because you only had him on last year
Yes.
as the voice of any team.
Right.
And they go to the national championship.
Right.
And in this year, so far, we've had voice of the Auburn Tigers.
Yes.
And the voice of the LSU Tigers.
Yep.
And now we're having the Canes on again.
Yep.
Which one's going?
I don't know. I want to talk about something that we talked about yesterday and just ran across my line today. And again, it is what it is. The Madden 99s, right? So and what we talked about is because Baker Mayfield hadn't signed yet. He still hasn't signed, but he's already reported. So he's going to finish. Well, extended his contract.
Yeah.
And so we talked about Baker being a top 10.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So if
what's his rank?
So if Baker's a top 10, then he would have, top 10 ranking in the Madden game. So this kind of gives you an idea of what Madden thinks about Baker.
13th?
So if you look at it, we got Matthew Stafford at 99, Josh Allen at 99. We both knew that from yesterday.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow comes in at number 3 at 97. Then you got Lamar Jackson following Joe Burrow at 94. All right?
Okay.
And then you've got Patrick Mahomes following Lamar Jackson at 93.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's where it starts getting interesting because you agree with all of that, right? You agree.
Well, I would have Mahomes up a little bit higher and have Burrow a little bit lower.
But with that being said, top 5, whatever. That's the
That's
1,
the
2,
top
3,
five,
4, 5. That's the best 5 quarterbacks,
That's 5, yeah.
right? All right. So number 6, Drake May at 92.
No, that's where I disagree with you.
At number 7, Dak Prescott at 91. Now, you got to look at their numbers. Like, Dak Prescott's numbers have been good. Are they winning football games? No. But is he getting his stats? Yes. So I guess I don't know if they're doing that. Number 8, Justin Herbert at 90. And then number 9 is Caleb Williams at 90.
That's overrated.
And then
That's a 1 year off.
And then number 10, here we go, Jared Goff at 88. So that means that they don't see Baker Mayfield, number 1, as a top 10 quarterback. Number 2, they've got him at least in the middle to low 80s. He could be number 11, but it's not listed. But I'm just saying, like, what we were talking about yesterday as far as with Baker Mayfield being at, a top 10 quarterback, and you feel that way. Here's another one that doesn't feel that way. And I asked you specifically about Jared Goff, which I was surprised that Bo Nix isn't on that. Do you think Bo Nix is better than Drake May at this point in his career? If you had a team to pick to lead, if you had a quarterback between those two guys to lead your team, who would you go with, Bo Nix or would you go Drake May?
I would go with Bo Nix. I think he has less weapons around him on offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So you think, okay, A.J. Brown's going to be with Drake May this year. It's going to really see if he's really good because A.J.'s going to ask for the ball.
Oh, yeah.
But
better running game, Patriots.
Yeah. You said, though, talking about this list, though, you said that you didn't agree with all that. You didn't agree with May. So
No.
May's not a top 10 quarterback to you. Prescott's
No.
not a top 10 quarterback to you.
Yeah, no.
Caleb Williams of the Bears.
He's maybe 13, maybe so, around up in there.
Yeah. So you're thinking Sunshine
Sunshine's in there.
should be in there.
And
Herbert,
Mayfield.
Herbert's
in there.
Herbert's in there
He's already in
already.
there, yeah.
So you're saying Drake May, Prescott, Caleb Williams, no Jared Goff?
Jared Goff probably comes in about 9 or 10.
Okay, so Jared Goff's
because
in.
I said he was right behind Mayfield.
So the 3 that you're replacing is Drake May, Dak Prescott, and Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
And you replace them with Baker Mayfield,
Sunshine.
and who's your third?
Oh, goodness.
Is it Jalen Hurts?
Wait,
or
let
is
me
he
think
outside?
about this. We got Chargers, Chiefs. Who's the third? That's the Broncos. That's a tough one. I mean, it's not Bryce Young,
Yeah.
and it's not.
It's not C.J. Stroud. It's not
C.J. Stroud.
It's not
either.
Penix. It's not Tyler Show. It's not
I can't. Even,
Sam Darnold. That's who it is.
That's who it is. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
That's it.
Yeah, that was it. So
yeah, he just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
he's probably number 10.
So see, even with their list, they were not 100% impressed with Sam Darnold enough to say that he's a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, the guy who won the Super Bowl against Drake May, and then Knicks, who couldn't even get to the Super Bowl because he got hurt.
Yeah,
and basically, yeah, they're gonna slide him.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of how it goes.
And then Hurts is probably could be like number 11, huh?
Yeah, and I'll read some of the comments. I love that Joe is coming on the show today. Chris Multiconte. What Jeff is Mickey Ficky? I don't know what that means. William Bush says that Baker's way better than Drake May. The dude led the Browns to a playoff game and won. So,
yeah,
I mean,
and threw for 3,000 yards 3 years in a row for the Browns. 4,000 yards back-to-back seasons with the Bucks.
Yeah.
The Bucks could have fallen off after Brady retired, but
yeah,
they're
still
still relevant. They've won
still,
double digits one
right.
year. They made the playoffs. They won a playoff game once. I mean, and Mayfield's done some
like
good
what
stuff.
you're talking about, just those 5 games that he played with Carolina can't define him.
Oh, no.
If we're using 5 games to define him, then we have to use what happened in Cleveland, and then we have to use what's happened since he's been with the Buccaneers. I mean, and even what he did with, the Rams. Now, obviously he didn't do what Stafford did, but Stafford didn't win with that same team as far as winning Super Bowl yet either.
Yeah.
So even though they're the ongoing favorite for this year, he still hasn't won with the same guys. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. I mean, he had all different wide receivers then. So so it's a different team that Baker was leading and Stafford's leading, and pretty much the same result. I mean, they didn't win it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you want to do, is to win it.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and go to the phone line, I believe, if we've got Ed on the line. Ed, how you doing today, my friend? Ed, are you there, my friend?
Yeah. You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, guys. Hey, I was going to tell y'all, tomorrow I'll be celebrating 210 days of sobriety, but I have a question for y'all.
All right.
So here, our area code in San Antonio is 210, and it's like, San Antonio. So I want to ask y'all, what are 2 of y'all's favorite Spurs players of all time? What is one reason the Spurs can win another championship? And do you believe the Spurs will win 0 championships in the next decade or so?
All right, John, I'll let Jeffrey go.
Yes, they are going to win a championship. And my 2 favorites of all time, I'm not going to go with the Iceman, sorry. I'm going to go with David Robinson and David Robinson, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the Admiral. And then I guess, should I go with the Wake Forest guy?
Tim Duncan.
I mean, he's probably the best power forward of all time. I mean, it's kind of hard not to like him. And he was kind of quiet and his little jabs and everything. I just love it. I mean, he was just great without being too flashy.
Well, I'll say this. There's one reason why that they're going to win a championship. His name's Wemby. That's why.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the Spurs, growing up or anything like that. But, if I would say there would be a favorite, to be David Robinson and Tim Duncan for sure. I did not like Ginobili. I did not like Parker. Sean Elliott was okay. But, just not a big fan. I'm not a fan of the coach. So I didn't like Popovich.
Yeah.
So he's just not I just don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like Steve Kerr. I just, for whatever reason,
you couldn't respect Popovich
for
being a good he's organized and he coached him to the most.
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the greats. I just don't like him.
That's sacrilegious to say that here in San Antonio. Wow.
Didn't he get a little not religious? He got a little political, I believe.
Oh,
also.
did he?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
And that's kind of why some people don't really like him all that much for some reason.
I just didn't like his. I don't know. I don't know. It just wasn't. He just wasn't one of the guys.
I mean, I like Ginobili. Put him in my top 5 barely, but Parker, man, was intelligent.
Yeah, smart
Parker
smart
was
player.
very smart.
That whole team was smart. They played smart.
Yeah.
They didn't outdo you by physical play, but they were just, they knew how to play with each other. And if you think about it, it could be any of those guys leading in scoring any given night.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't always just one guy. Even though Tim Duncan was the guy's Hall of Famer, like you said, probably one of the best or the best at his position. But if you look at the games whenever they needed it, I mean, it would be Ginobili or it would be Parker or it would be Duncan. I mean, those guys, Elliott's even had great days. So, yeah. What about you? Which ones do you like, Ed, being a fan?
I like Greg Popovich. I like Steve Kerr.
You like man, me and you've kind of had 2 days in a row now where we haven't agreed. That's all right.
Over here.
That's all right. That's okay.
David Robinson, Tim Duncan is definitely on that list. Vinny Del Negro. Dennis Rodman, but he never fits the Spurs organization.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I saw at the guy from the head guy from the Spurs, he got on the cover of NBA 2K, which I am not a fan of, by the way.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, we are so proud of you. 210 days. That's fantastic. I think, yes, the San Antonio Spurs, it just really depends on the young talent. If they break it up, if those guys leave to go make money after they win a title. But within a year or two, I believe they're going to win. And with the parity in the NBA right now, the way it's set up,
Is Steph coming to San Antonio?
Ooh, I don't know. I heard that, but I doubt it.
Okay.
We'll see. But, Ed, thank you so much for the call, my friend.
All right, later, y'all. Peace.
See you, buddy. Again, when you have someone that's this tall, this good, I get all these other players that they're trying to bring in to be what they call Wemby stoppers and all of that. That's fine. I just think, do you think they just get better and better every year? That's what they're going to do, that the San Antonio Spurs, they're going to get – because to me, Ron Harper's son, which is Dylan Harper, I think he's a star in the making.
Yeah.
I think if you watch what he did in the playoffs, he's a rookie. It's his first year. I think you're going to have him and Wemby, because Wemby's, to me, is going to be like Tim Duncan. I think he's going to be like Tim Duncan. He's going to give you that solid, you kind of know what you're getting week in, week out with him. But I think they're going to have to elevate a couple of more players, and Dylan Harper could be that guy because he could score at will when they allowed him to. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to be there for one more year maybe. And then once that's done, I think when they get a true point guard that's going to be, not that De'Aaron Fox isn't a true point guard, but a true point guard that knows how to play that style of play, I think to be able to distribute the ball, I think Dylan Harper is going to be one of those stars.
So I hinted at Joker going to the Lakers after this next year.
Yeah.
What if he went to the Spurs?
Oh, yeah, that'd be crazy. Well, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we're going to have Aaron Bearden on the line. He's got some interesting stuff. Former major leaguer coming over to the Instant Replay Sports. We got to talk about it. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida with a quick programming update.
Hey, it's Coach Hale with two quick programming notes. Listen to The Herd with Colin Cowherd at his new time, weekdays 11 to 2. Plus, Paul Feinbaum's working the split shift, Monday through Friday, 2 o'clock to 4. Then we bring him right back on from 6 to 8. Make sure to wake up with the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Anna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The rest of the day, partly sunny and a temperature of 92 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the west-southwest. A variety of some clouds and light showers tonight, a gentle breeze, and quite warm near 83. Likely thunderstorms and some sun and 90 tomorrow. 88 and some sun in the early morning followed by possible thunderstorms Friday. This is your Wednesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The legendary Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, home for the most popular drink specials in town and now on the beach. Enjoy 2-for-1 house margaritas and draft beer all day, every day. 10% off on Military Mondays, and Tuesdays kids eat free with an adult. Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, now with 2 locations. Back Beach next to Home Depot and Highway 77.
Instant Replay Sports Cards welcomes former Kansas City Royal pitcher Randy McGilberry. He's going to be at Instant Replay Sports Cards for a book signing on Saturday, August 1st from 1 to 3. Get the new book, Dare to Dream, Believing in Yourself by Randy McGilberry. Come meet Randy, get personalized autographs, and have your photo taken with an MLB legend. Don't miss this special event Saturday, August 1st at Instant Replay Sports Cards, 752 West 23rd Street in the Sanford Station, Panama City.
Now, taking your collection to the next level. It's the Instant Replay Sports Cards Box Break. With Aaron Bearden on ESPN Northwest Florida.
We are back live and local right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves are off of the air today. They're playing right now. They will be picking back up tomorrow against the Washington Nationals. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. The Braves on the Gulf Coast is sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here in the Panhandle. So glad to have them on board for this because the Braves need some wins, even though the Phillies still losing, so we're good. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call the Tropical Spas and Pools phone line. 850-215-6290 is the way you do that. This is the Instant Replay Sports Card Box Break, and we're excited to have Aaron on the line. Aaron, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hey, doing pretty well. How about you guys?
We are doing great. It is wonderful here. I'm having a great time. Got Mickey Mouse Jeff here with us today. Bone Crusher's here, and you're here. So let's talk about it. You've got some big news going on this Saturday over at Instant Replay Sports Cards. Why don't you tell the listeners what you got going on and what time and who it all is and what you're going to be doing that day?
Yeah, absolutely. So at Instant Replay this coming Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m., we have an in-store appearance by former Major League pitcher Randy McGilberry. Pitched for the Kansas City Royals. A lot of cool career highlights with him. Not only did he play with some Hall of Famers like George Brett, he pitched against Nolan Ryan. He faced a lot of great hitters. So he's going to be here. He's written a book kind of just about his journey, his career, his philosophy on life after baseball. And it's getting some really, really good notices. He was just in Cooperstown last week signing at the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So he literally left that and is traveling down here to come to Panama City and sign for folks. So be here 1 to 3 p.m. on Saturday. Meet a former Major League pitcher for the Kansas City Royals. You can get his book. You can get his autograph. We'll have some baseballs. We'll have some of his cards as well. So definitely it's going to be a lot of fun, man. You got kids that are, wanting to play baseball and getting into it. How cool would it be to have them come meet an actual former major leaguer, ask some questions, and, maybe get inspired a little bit?
Yeah, it sounds good. It's always great when these guys come in and do those type of things and take pictures with the kids and see everybody and like you said, signing the balls and signing the books and all of that. So that's going to be a fantastic time. So let's talk about the actual cards that have come out this week. Obviously, everybody's still chasing all of the stuff that came out last week. What is new on the docket for this week, or is it a slower week and everybody's still chasing the other stuff?
Yeah, it's Topps Tribute released today. Kind of a light week in general, oddly enough, because the National show is going on this weekend. Usually people try to release a bunch of stuff right at the National to unveil it, but it hasn't really been the case this year. But yeah, Topps Tribute came out. It's a really high-end, fun product. If you like that sort of things, potential for some great, big, huge hits in it. Definitely not the kind of thing you buy just to put a set together. It's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum from, say, just Series 1 tops. But that's their offering for this week.
So what is it though? So you say Topps Tribute because a lot of times people, they're new to the game. So what kind of big hits? I mean, are we talking like autographs, 1-of-1s, 1-of-2s? I mean, what are we talking?
Yeah. Tribute is one of those things where there's really nobody too big for them to put in there because it is a very expensive product. So, traditionally you would have stuff like your Series 1 tops or some of your lower price point releases like Topps Gallery or Topps Fire that maybe they wouldn't put the very, very top-end players in there. Maybe, somebody like an Ohtani or a Judge might not have signed for that product. But with Tribute, it's kind of all bets are off. And this is where they'll pull out if they've acquired cut signatures of guys like a Jackie Robinson or Clemente or Lou Gehrig or something. This is the kind of product they tend to put those in.
What's usually the price mark? I mean, I know sometimes you don't tell us exactly, but is it like way high? Like are we talking like jumbo boxes, hobby boxes, or is this like blasters, or what all does it have?
Yeah, I mean, and it varies each year based on production. This year, I think Tribute is like in the $800 or $900 range for a box.
Oh wow!
It's a very limited product. Like I say, it's not the kind of thing. If you're just wanting to buy some cards recreationally and put a set together, Tribute's not where you want to start. But if you want to do a bit of high end gambling, it's a product that could have a big payoff.
Yeah, so those are if you're really wanting to step up your game, maybe if grandma has given you some money, or if you got a birthday and you've been saving that money for something like that. And so you said those come out today. Let me ask you this. Last week we had the Topps come out and the Chrome, and there's just a lot of stuff in there. And I saw that, I believe that the Paul Skeens 1-of-1 on the Minion actually was hit. Now, do they only have a certain number of those players in that set that has the Minions in it, and they just selected them, or what?
That I don't know anything about that insert set. It could well be some of those they do only put certain big players in there. And then some of them just your general 1-of-1, like superfractors and all. It's going to be one for every card in the set.
Oh, okay, I got
What
you.
was it? He was like pitching to minions? What was going on with that?
No, he looks like a minion.
Oh, he looks like a minion.
Yeah, so they put him in the minion, and so basically it's a cartoon look with the Pirates jersey on, Paul Skeens, and pitching. And I think they had an Aaron Judge 1-of-1 that was there as well.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'd just seen a couple of those. I didn't do a lot of research on it, but I just wondered if Aaron knew anything about those. Now, let's talk about something that me and you had discussed. The final weekend for the Topps Chrome NFL buybacks is this week, right?
Yes. Saturday is the last day to turn in those 2025 Topps Chrome Matthew Stafford cards for MVP buyback credit.
So, what that means basically is if you've got a Topps Chrome Matthew Stafford card, then, you need to bring it in. And as they go up in value, you get more in the store credit. Is that correct, Aaron?
Yeah, in the sense of if it's the base 2025 Topps Chrome card, it's $20. If it is a base refractor, it's $40, and then it goes up as the numbering on the card. If it's numbered to $4.99 or $3.99, it has a little extra value. If you start talking about those ones numbered to $99 or $50 or whatever, then it's really going to skyrocket.
Wow, that's really good. So let me ask you this: now you're an NFL fan, is that correct, Aaron?
I have been at times. I don't follow it that closely. Let me say this. I don't necessarily watch the games, but with the shop and all that, I do follow a lot of the stuff like the trades and, that side of it.
Right. Let's talk about one guy that's just been coming up a lot is Baker Mayfield. Does his cards have value?
No, I'm kidding you. I'm sorry.
Does his card hold value?
Well, it's a tough one. To be honest, to be completely fair, from the day he came out till now, probably no, his cards have dropped a little bit. But I think he has shown there's something there. I don't think people have completely written him off. And there were certainly quarterbacks in his draft class who are kind of like just out of the league by now that would really not hold any value. I think there are still some people who are like, hey, maybe if this guy gets the right situation around him or just kind of things break his way a little bit differently, he's still got something. So, yeah, I mean, there's some value to his stuff, but maybe not what it was the day he got drafted when, like, the expectations were sky high.
I would think it'd be kind of comparable to Sam Darnold. Even though Sam Darnold does have a Super Bowl ring from this past year, he's been on multiple teams, and they're about the same age.
Yeah, there is something to that. I don't know to say offhand, which one of the same card is worth more or whatever. But, yeah, with both of them, there's still been that thing of people holding out a bit of hope, like, okay, maybe if things click for this guy. I know Mayfield had a season a year or two back where at least halfway through the year it's like, oh, okay, this is, he's playing at a level that this might get him into the playoffs. And so people were, a little bit hesitant to just dump his cards.
Oh, yeah.
But,
beating the Cowboys in the playoffs does that for you.
Yeah, and but they're still needing to see like a little bit of sustained success out of that. It's weird, really, with card collectors. It's a little different than just sports fans. Card collectors are kind of high on somebody until there's that first stumble, there's that first injury, there's that first kind of collapse in the postseason, and then they may dump them. And if they do, it can be very difficult to get that trust back with the collectors where they go, okay, this guy already showed me, a little bit of imperfection or humanity, and now I'm willing to invest in him again.
Let me ask you this. I see that Topps Inception comes out as well. Is that going to be because of how popular the World Cup was in America? Do you see that being like a nice set that comes out? I know that it comes out as well. Because you got Messi's one-of-ones in there and all of that. Do you think that's going to be a bigger hit for them this year because the World Cup just happened?
Yeah, it'll be a bigger product. Now, since the World Cup ended, this is something we were just here talking about a few minutes ago. Since the World Cup ended about a week and a half ago, the demand for soccer cards has dropped off significantly. People were crazy for it while it was going on. They were into it and they were hyped for it. And now it's, nobody's got a chance of breaking a new record or anything like that. So that's kind of gone. And that's sort of the issue with event-based cards like that, World Cup and the Olympics and World Baseball Classic, those sorts of things that only happen every few years. There's hype for them while they're going on, but as soon as they end, it sort of goes back to normal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I will say this with Messi, because Messi is kind of the top-tier guy in soccer cards. You don't have to have a Messi 101 to have something good. I mean, he's the soccer equivalent, say, of like Ohtani right now in collecting. They can tease you with this, there's this special one-of-one Ohtani card in this product. Yeah, and the Ohtani number to 10 or 25 or 50 is still going to be a great card that makes your day. And, maybe the centerpiece of your collection. So and Messi's kind of that way. There's one-on-one, sure, that's great. Topps will love to send those images out and, get people kind of whipped up into a frenzy on that. But honestly, pretty much any Messi you pull out of there, it's going to be something special.
You mentioned Ohtani. I got a question for you on Ohtani, and this is a personal question for you. Do you feel like that with Ohtani, doing what he's doing, he's up again on, being the MVP. He's playing on a team that has a chance to win, back-to-back-to-back world championships. Do you think that Ohtani has already cemented himself in the card market like, say, Mantle has? Because really, Aaron Judge's cards are not, really going up. He's hurt right now. Will his stuff kind of fall off as it goes? Who knows? But do you feel like we're in a time right now where, because really before Ohtani, and you'll be able to tell us, who was it before him? Because Bryce Harper, his stuff has kind of cooled off. And, some of these guys that have been in the league, Mike Trout, his stuff has cooled off. All of these greats. Will Ohtani be in that Jordan, Brady, Mantle? Will he be in that conversation when it's all said and done? Because if so, then we have all lived in all of these guys' generation.
Well, there's a lot of layers to that. One, to say, card-wise, is he in the stature of like Mantle? The difference there, and even with Jordan, is those cards were not made with like a manufactured scarcity where they're going, hey, we're going to only print 10 of this card.
Right.
And, to make it really sought after and all. They were just, like with Mantle, they were just making cards.
Mm-hmm.
When they produced a 52 Mantle, nobody thought, hey, this is going to be, something people spend millions of dollars on 75 years from now. Nobody thought that. Nobody thought, oh, we're going to make less of this. In fact, a lot of Mantle cards were double and triple printed because he was just popular. So had they been single printed like everyone else, imagine how much more expensive they would be. So it's a different market now. Even for a guy like Trout or Harper or Judge, the last 20, 25 years of cards, it's just a different market. It's hard to say what those guys' cards would be, what they would look like compared to a Jordan or Gretzky or, anybody like that, if we didn't have all of this serial numbering and these limited parallel chase cards and that sort of thing. What would those guys' market have looked like if they'd have had that back then? If in 1952 Topps had gotten Mantle to sign some of those cards.
Wow.
And, put those in, like how much more expensive would those be? One already sold for $12 million and it wasn't signed.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of an apples to oranges thing. I do think, Ohtani's probably going to be remembered in that category. However, you mentioned something that you talked about. Bryce Harper was huge, and he's gotten a little older. He's had some injuries. His production's fallen. Mike Trout was the guy before Ohtani. I still think you look at, what Trout did his first 10 years, pretty incredible. I think we're awed by Ohtani because we can't get our heads around the fact that he's pitching and hitting, but I don't know if he's doing them any better than Mike Trout did defense and hitting for 10 years in a very valuable defensive position. That's a whole other conversation. But Trout certainly got older, got injuries. The thing is, Ohtani's going to do that too. And right now we're looking at up, maybe another MVP, maybe another World Series. 3 years from now, Ohtani's going to be, 35, 36. I'm not sure exactly what his age is. He's going to start declining as well.
Right.
So there's going to be that inevitable slide for his stuff where you're going to go, man, this card was, $500 back when he was 31 and winning MVPs, and now he's 37 and he's missing 60 games this year with a back injury or something, and that card's only going for $200 or $300 because that's what happened to all those guys.
Right. Yeah, and that's where I just wonder with winning, because he was right there with Mike Trout, which I think the best thing he could have done for his card value and his future was to get out of Los Angeles. I mean, that's exactly what he did. He left, and he's been on fire ever since. And so you are telling customers right now, listeners that are listening, that there's still the upward trajectory. So Ohtani is a hot card, not just his, one of ones or whatever, but all of Ohtani's cards are still hot. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yeah, and particularly the rookie year stuff, 2018 stuff. Later on, there's 50,000 different Ohtani cards out there, all these different varieties and stuff. The thing that always holds true in this hobby is the rookie year stuff is what people want the most. Mm-hmm. Now, when they can't get that, when that gets too out of their price range, we saw this with Trout most recently. People couldn't afford the 2011 Trouts, so they'd start buying the 2012 Trouts and drive the price on those up. So right now, Ohtani's still affordable if you're trying to make an investment. You don't have to buy that $300,000 Ohtani, one of one thing or whatever. If you want to put $500 into it, buy the coolest $500 Ohtani card that you see. As long as he plays well and stays healthy, yes, it's going to go up, like I say. But the one thing no athlete beats, is time.
Yeah, exactly.
And eventually they all do get old.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm thankful you said that because Bone Crusher, he was waiting on something to spend his $300,000 on, so now you told him not to do it, so he's not going to do it. He's going to hold on to it and spend it on something else. So there you go. You've been a big help today. So give us the hours of operation and the location, Aaron.
Yeah, so we are open 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 11 to 8, Saturday, 10 to 8, Sunday, 12 to 6. We are right here on 23rd Street in the Stanford Station with Academy Sports, El Jalisco, Sweet Frog, 752 West 23rd Street. You can hit us up at 850-257-5484. And do not miss being here on Saturday. We got breaks at noon. We got former MLB pitcher Randy McGilvery here at 1 o'clock. Got a Pokemon event that evening. It's going to be an action-packed Saturday. And this is the place to be for all of it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's going to be a fun time, awesome time. You know what? I might have to swing over there. Hopefully I can get over there, and maybe I could see if he's still got it because I got a bat in the car. So we'll see. I'll let him throw me one.
Hey, man, he faced Rod Carew. So, I don't know if you're going to intimidate him, but, you might get lucky with one.
Never know. Never know. Well, Aaron, thanks so much for coming on. And everybody go visit Instant Replay Sports Cards, especially Saturday with Randy McGilvery, former Kansas City Royal. We appreciate it, my friend. Have a great week.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Yes, sir. When we come back, we're going to dive into college football. And don't forget, we've got Joe Zagacki coming on to the top of the hour. Talk about them Hurricanes. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs, with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5, and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food, on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Bumpers, truck bed covers, camper shells, van shelving, ladder racks, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Sports Blitz.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow night take on the Washington Nationals. 6 o'clock is the coverage time, 6:15. is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, no problem. All you got to do is call in 850-215-6290, the Tropical Spas and Pool phone line. You can call in or text in on that line. You know, Jeffrey, I don't like to talk about all of the negativity about things that happen in the world of sports or to sports people, but I would like to say that they did come out with the footage of Tony Romo getting his OWI, and
he was just going to Grandma's house.
He was going to Grandma and Grandpa's house, is what he said. He said, "I'm coming back from a golfing tournament," and I'll tell you this. Now, this might be comical to you. It may not be. This may not be something that you laugh about, but I will say, whoever Tony Romo's lawyer is, if I was a lawyer right now, I would be doing everything that I could to get in touch with Tony Romo to be his lawyer. Because during the traffic stop, the officer was giving the commands, and Tony Romo said, "Well, I don't know if I want to take that test. Give me 1 second. I'm going to call my lawyer." So he begins to do that. She says to him, the officer says to him, "No, I need you to step out of the vehicle." He said, "Well, can you just let me call my lawyer real quick?" And she said, "No," but he's steadily calling. You can see he's calling the lawyer, and he's got it on speakerphone.
Yeah.
He's got it on speakerphone. So he said, "You know, could we possibly?" And he said it again. She said, "No, you can't call your lawyer. I need you to step out. Are you going to step out or not?" And he's like, yeah. I'm not trying to get into it with you. I just want to call my lawyer real quick to ask, should I do what you're asking me to do or not? Well, apparently his lawyer didn't answer the phone. So if I was a lawyer, so if you're a lawyer listening right now, you should email, call, do all you can to call Tony Romo. And put him, because if I was a lawyer and they pay you lots of money to be ready for them at any time. Retainer fee. Yeah. I would be like, "Tony, you could call me at 4 a.m. I'm answering, dog." But his lawyer did not answer this whole minute time. I know that seems comical, but I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, as you said, it's probably nothing going to be anything about it. He had a little bit of a smirk. I'm glad the video he wasn't very
condescending.
Like, do you know who I am?
Yeah, do you know who I am?
That whole, do you know who I am?
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, do you know who I am? Like that just,
that,
that just lets you. Well, a lot of times, and again, I've seen videos where like a judge would get pulled over and he'd be like, "Can I have your license or whatever?" And he's like, "I'll give it to you, but are you sure you want to do this?" And you would see the guy grab it and look at it and be like, "Have a great day, Judge." That
Has anyone done that to you?
No, I mean, I've never had someone. I've had people that were definitely city council members, that kind of thing, that we had pulled over before. And I was the backup or something like that back in the day. And I don't know what they did. I don't recall.
I looked the other way.
I don't know if they let him go or what.
It is Alabama, Oh.
But I mean,
Louisiana's worse.
Yeah, for sure. But when you think about it, and if you remember the one of the Braves players got pulled over, and his English wasn't very good. Yeah. And he told them who he was, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we know who you are."
Yeah, here's your ticket.
But do you think that that's fair? Like, let's just be honest. Do you think people that are fair, should it be okay for them to get away with it, but you not? Or me not?
No. It's an equal playing field. Nobody's above the law, not even Donald Trump.
Right. Nobody is, right?
Yeah.
Not even Dr. Fauci. I know he's stuff going on right now.
Or his lawyers.
Or his lawyers. That's right. So there you go. We're going to go ahead and go to the phone line before this gets political in the building.
Yeah.
We got Nate on the line. Nate, how you doing today, my friend?
Punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Whoa, wait a minute, guys.
Yeah.
I just called in for a friendly discussion.
So even school bus drivers aren't above the law, okay?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, unfortunately, I'm no longer a school bus driver.
Oh, man.
Like forever?
You stole the bus, didn't you?
My medical, it's not conducive to the driving experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't want to dive in too deep with that, but let me do this before we go into anything. I got to ask you, is Sam Darnold a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? And if he is Baker Mayfield as well? Your response, sir.
Over the last 2 years, I would have to say that Sam Darnold he's done enough to be considered a top 10 player. On that same avenue, so is Baker Mayfield. I mean, he's done enough for his teams to put him in a position to get to a spot that they need to be. Despite all the injuries and deficiencies with the team as a whole, their individual play, I believe, has orchestrated their abilities to reach that level. Whether they are now or not has still yet to be proven this year.
Okay, so with that being said, Drake May, Caleb Williams, are they top 10 quarterbacks?
No.
So you're more into what Jeffrey's saying. The Madden numbers have Drake May and Caleb Williams in the top 10 as quarterbacks and not Baker Mayfield nor Sam Darnold.
Those Madden numbers are so skewed just to get people to buy the game. It's
That's
ridiculous.
true.
Yeah. That's all it's for. The Madden numbers, this and that. It's kind of like saying, oh, this football card's better than this football card.
Yeah.
You know, they're all in the same boat until they get to the end, and the end is the Super Bowl. So unless you've gotten even a sniff of that goal line, no, chalk it up.
So here's the deal. I mean, the two quarterbacks that did make the playoffs last year that were not even in conversation for top 10 or 15 is Aaron Rodgers and Bryce Young. And yet Burrow, who hasn't made the playoffs the last 2 years straight or 3 years straight, I might have lost count.
And Lamar.
He is totally in the top 5.
Right. That's where exactly what I'm talking about is because you can take individual play to a certain level, but it comes down to team.
Yep.
It's a team sport, people. You can have the best quarterback in the world, right, and have mediocre players that look like gods because you have the best quarterback, or you can have an average quarterback, Sam Darnold, let's say, and have a supporting cast around him, a good defense, that keeps him in games long enough to where he can will or find a way to win that game. Now, I'm not saying that Sam Darnold didn't have to put the game on his back a couple of times last year, because he did. And you can never say that the Hawks were like, oh, we were supposed to win that game. No. They took what they had in front of them, and they worked with it. If they lost, they lost. If they won, they won.
I will say
regardless
this,
to
though.
the refs, regardless to what's going on around them, they just adapted to what they needed to do at the time to find the way to win. And that's how you play football.
Well, I hate to interrupt you with this, but I'm just going to tell you, like, Sam Darnold, the team he left didn't make the playoffs. The team he went to won the Super Bowl. If they make it deep into the playoffs this year again, I think everybody should definitely change their opinion about whether or not Sam Darnold is a legitimate, because we're putting Matthew Stafford, yes, he had an MVP career last year, but he didn't win it. He's won one, but all those years with Detroit, he never could get him over the hump. He had Megatron, which is a Hall of Famer, and he had, other great players around. But, I mean, at the end of the day, do you want to be known as a guy that's won MVP or could have been, should have been, was the greatest quarterback but throwing? Or do you want to be a guy that says, I'm a Super Bowl champion more than once?
I would rather have more championships in my case than worry about – and I think every quarterback is like this. You reach a certain time frame where, all right, I've won a Super Bowl, now I can go for records. But ultimately, if you had a choice, like, oh, you can be number one MVP, blah, 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 or win a Super Bowl, they're going to say Super Bowl every time. Every time. Talk to Tom Brady. He's not the greatest in every category. He's not. And he admits it. But he's got the most rings.
And in inverse, Lamar Jackson, he has an MVP, and he doesn't win playoff games. And he's got a good team around him.
Well, exactly my point. That's exactly my point. It doesn't matter what you have under the hood, but once those playoffs starts, you better be a V8 with everything kicking.
Yeah.
Because I was going to bring up because I was going to give my condolences to the Bieniemy family from Kansas City with his wife getting, domestic violence, whatever you want to call it. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yep.
But it seems to me that there's a lot of teams out there that have some really bad baggage. I mean, look at Kansas City and Andy Reid's son.
Yeah.
Now you got another son, and that's because probably the parents are too busy living their lives, doing their thing, because they're now empty nesters, and being head coaches of championship teams, and not having to worry about the spoiled-ass brat kids, that are now causing them all these headaches. But is there like some sort of like weird curse that happens to NFL and NBA, and is it only because they have the spotlight on them that we're noticing these things?
It is, because you know what? If you really look at the Kennedy family and they say about how many tragedies they've had, they've had the same amount of average tragedies as an average family, to be honest with you. If you have one person die every decade, that's not horrible. It's just the way that two of them died at with a gun, and
that's terrible.
But Kansas City, they had a player go in the parking lot, right? Committed suicide. Eric Bieniemy, now his wife has been shot. He used to be with the Chiefs. I mean, Chiefs are kind of shrouded a little bit. I'm just saying.
I think there's a dark cloud over there. I mean, somebody signed a pact with the devil to get them those championships, and now people are falling to the wayside.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm being tongue in cheek, guys.
Well, you talked about you called up to talk about curses, and once you say that one word, the thing that pops into my head is the GOAT with the Cubs, right? And then the Red Sox. And that's the Cubs and the Red Sox are the two things that pop in my head when I think about curses.
Well, when I think about it, all I think about is exactly what Miss Terry talked about voodoo in LSU and how that Lane Kiffin better make sure that he pours some holy water out on that field whenever he goes against Ole Miss, because he's going to need it. I'm just saying, because that stuff is real. Every time I think of that, I think of LSU, and I don't think of any other state.
We haven't made a doll for you yet, Paul, to poke it.
Please don't. Please don't.
It went for Bone Crusher, maybe.
No.
But, I was looking at you're talking about Madden. I was like, man, the Madden curse is pretty prevalent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of people that spotlight got put on them, and all of a sudden now they're hurt or injured or bothered or whatever, That being the case, now there's been a lot of talk about Hard Knocks.
Oh,
and how Hard Knocks, that distraction they have, is going to cause problems. And now the Seahawks, their first episode's August 4th.
Wow. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
So, I'm just like, whoa, dude, don't mess with my Hawks, man.
I know, that's right. Well, Nate, man, we appreciate the call. We're about to take our next break. We appreciate you, my friend. Hey, it is what it is. I wanted to say this before we go. We got Joe Sagacki coming on at 5 o'clock here in just a moment to talk about the Miami Hurricanes. But before we go, I just wanted you to know that LaMelo Ball, before he left Charlotte, he left his rooms at his apartment, I guess, that he was renting, all jacked up. So they've sued him, and there's a chance that LaMelo Ball is going to have some baggage when he goes starting to play in Minnesota. But either way, I wanted to let you know on
his
that.
His mom probably cleaned up after him.
I don't think he
up.
did. Yeah, maybe so.
Did,
she might have, but she's not there right now. So either way, now that we've got through all of this, we got some serious business to talk about. Joe Sagacki coming on, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes at the top of the hour. We'll see you in just a moment, guys.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
So can I go off the deep end and say 3-0?
Okay, 3-0. We got it.
And then you come back home in the swamp, and you're playing Ole Miss, coming off an LSU game. Let's say Ole Miss gets a little beat up. Could I even think that the Gators could be 4-0 after beating Ole Miss? Is it a possibility with a different coach at Ole Miss? I'm going off the deep end, Paul. I'm giving all the Gator fans hope.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Partly cloudy and sprinkling tonight with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 83. Tomorrow morning we will have very light rain and a chance of thunderstorms and be hot at 87. Likely thunderstorms and very light showers in the afternoon and evening and a high 89. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Instant Replay Sports Cards welcomes former Kansas City Royal pitcher Randy McGilberry. He's going to be at Instant Replay Sports Cards for a book signing on Saturday, August 1st from 1 to 3. Get the new book, Dare to Dream, Believing in Yourself by Randy McGilberry. Come meet Randy, get personalized autographs, and have your photo taken with an MLB legend. Don't miss this special event Saturday, August 1st at Instant Replay Sports Cards, 752 West 23rd Street in the Sanford Station, Panama City.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
WJSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Back to the gap at the wall, out of here!
ESPN Northwest Florida advertisers get results. Here's MaxFit Sports Nutrition owner Jason Kovaleski.
So if you're looking to advertise or if you have a small business and you're looking to drive traffic to your store, check out ESPN 104.3 with Coach James Hale Show. I've been working with them for 7 years. They've driven a lot of traffic to my business. It's one thing to advertise on the radio where people may hear it. It's another thing to be able to come on, talk to your customers directly.
Get results for your business. Call ESPN Northwest Florida, 850-215-4468.
The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
What it do, people? It's the homie Lil Cash. Right now you tuned in with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. The hottest sports show in the South. Let's go. It's Lil Cash with another hit with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz. Where they talk trash and they talk ish. When it comes to sports, man, they too legit. It's 104.3 ESPN. If you love sports, better chime in. NFL, college, local sports, they got it. NBA, they got it. Sports Blitz, the topic. The show hottest was Sabi. Better tune in and go watch it. Hey, Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. If you even tried, you can't stop it. Bone Crusher gon' pop it. No Jeff gon' pop it. Go like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right now.
We are live and local. It's 5 o'clock on this Wednesday, hump day, everybody, and we're so glad that you joined us on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves tomorrow night take on the Washington Nationals. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. The Tropical Spas and Pools phone line is wide open, 850-215-6290. You can call in or text in on that line, and we'd be so gracious to answer your response. As always, we are so glad to be able to have the voice of the Miami Hurricanes on the phone line right now with us, Mr. Joe Zagacki. Joe, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. Hello. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We are doing outstanding. Joe, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to come on with us and talk about these great Miami Hurricanes. Joe, you know, there's always the question. Everybody asks, you got Miami fans talking, you got Florida Gator fans talking. Would you say the U is back?
Well, they played for the championship last year, so they came up about 35, 40 yards short of winning the national championship. If they're not back, they're about as close to the mountaintop as you can be. So I guess maybe you're only back if you win the championship. But the last 2 years, they've won 20, 25, 24, 25 games. Wow. So I think they're very much on the right path.
And you know what? I will just say this. You were one of our first guests. We're going on almost a year now. I saw that in August will be our year here with the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and you were one of our first out-of-town guests, and we're so thankful for that. But, you were the one that got us turned on to the Hurricanes, as far as you kept telling us that how great Carson Beck looked, how this team is different, how you named players that we didn't even know who they were but now everybody knows them because of the season that they had. So, Joe, we're going to ask you, we know that there's some returning players. Obviously, Malachi Toney. Obviously, Mark Fletcher. Now you've got the transfer in, Mensa. Tell us about what you think about this year's squad, Joe.
Yeah, I think they're going to be. You take a look at them, their depth chart, and start looking at them position for position, and they have got a lot. Not only do they have a lot of talent, they've got a lot of quality talent, and they don't have players on the team that would be considered, depth. That if a guy gets injured, someone couldn't step in and play. Somebody goes down, they've got somebody right behind them who's going to be very good. Mensa at quarterback, I think, is going to be sensational for Miami. He protects the football. His touchdown interception ratio is terrific, 34-6, I think it was a year ago. The backfield, you have Mark Fletcher, you have Marty Brown, you have Pringle. Jordan Lyle was the starting running back a year ago when Miami began the season against Notre Dame, and we don't even talk about him right now.
Wow.
So I think the running back situation is very solid. The offensive line, yes, they lost Bell, they lost Cooper, they lost Malinoa, but Okunlola is a 5-star player. McCoy is a 5-star player. Ryan Rodriguez takes over at center. He started 2 years ago against Florida, so I think they're going to be fine there. Tight end position, Elijah Lofton is back. Defensively, there are playmakers across the board for Miami. They lose Keontae Scott, but they're going to plug in Bryce Fitzgerald, who had 6 interceptions last season. Poiser at one safety spot. Their defensive backs, Frederic, O'Connor, Lucas, Antoine, Damari Brown. They're 5, 6, 7 deep at defensive back, so I feel good about that. I think you always judge a team by their defensive line. They lose Bain. They lose Mesidor. They've got Lightfoot and Blunt, 2 5-star players who played a lot last year inside Scott and Moten, 2 guys who are 5-star players. Moten was terrific last year in the championship game against Indiana. Scott played like a 5-star in the second half of last season. So do they have question marks? Maybe. Maybe a linebacker. Maybe it's some of those spots on the offensive line. But they've recruited at a high level, and they're going to put out a high-level team.
What do you think about Coach Cristobal as far as being able to hold on to these guys and let them buy into the process or what he's trying to do here? Because, the one thing that Alabama used to pride itself on is exactly what you're talking about. Coach Saban used to always have depth at the big-time positions, and you would see these stars, and they would roll out every year, brand new names, but the same result, become stars. And so how is Cristobal in this era of the NIL, about the transfer portal, how does he keep those 5 stars there? And then what can he do to make sure that because these kids want to play when they come right into college?
Yeah, well, I think, to a certain extent, and I would take the running back position for the University of Miami. And, I mentioned Fletcher, I mentioned Lyle, Pringle, and Brown. And then they brought in a 4 or 5-star freshman in the recruiting season this year to compete. And nobody left. So to me, that indicates that the players have a lot of trust in Cristobal, a lot of trust that he's going to make them better players, that he's going to get them to the right spot. And I also think this, preserving your own players is a big key in your success. But one of the ways to preserve your own players, to keep them on your roster, is by continuing to bring in good players. Mm-hmm. And so somebody might look at that and go, well, wait a minute. If you're bringing in good players all the time, are you squeezing somebody out? But I think great players want to be around other great players. I think if you're really a great player and my team brings in another great player, even if it's at my position, then that says my coach wants to win, and I got to be better. I got to take care of my own self. I got to be better to make the team better. So I think that's what he's been able to do, and therefore players are staying. They're not leaving the program. Now you're going to lose guys here and there, but for the most part, they were able to preserve their top players. So I think it's the culture you build, the assistant coaches you put around the players, which he's done a great job of maintaining continuity with his coordinators and just about every other position coach. And then there's a vision. He's got a vision. He's responsible for that vision and culture, and he gets the players to buy into it. So therefore, Miami's way far ahead of where they were 3 years ago.
This is probably the first year that they've been favored to win the conference in, 2 decades?
Yeah, probably. Maybe they were favored somewhere along the line. Maybe Mario's first year. Maybe they were picked at, because he came in as a new head coach, and I think people just thought he was going to wave a magic wand. But maybe we could rephrase that and say they're picked to win, and this might be the first time in 20 years where they've got a legitimate chance, where they've got the team to win the ACC.
I mean, you start off, you go all the way across the country, all the way over to Stanford. They're more worried about unionizing than anything, so I'm not really concerned with them. And then you got, I'm not going to call them 3 cupcakes, but I just did. You got 3 cupcakes following behind that, and then you go at Clemson. It's almost like you marked it off on the calendar. You know what you got. You know you have Notre Dame later on in the season. But how about Florida State? You got a bye before them, so you got 2 weeks to prepare for the Seminoles. And you know what they have? They have a bye after they play y'all. Is that kind of disrespect or what?
That Florida State has a bye after Miami?
Yeah. Are they just trying to get all their wounds healed?
To be honest with you, I think it's smart scheduling.
They're just going to take their loss and just go to the hospital.
I just think this, that whenever Miami and Florida State play, I think one of the things that the ACC has always screwed up on is they've undervalued the Miami-Florida State game, what it means to the people in the state and what it means to the players. And I always think this, when Miami and Florida State, no matter what their records are, and there have been times where Florida State's been really good, Miami not so good. And Miami pretty good, and Florida State not so good. But I know this, when the game is over, they beat the hell out of each other. And the next week, it's really hard for Miami and Florida State to play at a high level the next week, both mentally and physically. And they always give, at least in Miami's case, it always seemed to me that after Florida State, there was another team in there that could be problematic for Miami. This time, it's Pittsburgh. So Florida State gets the benefit of a bye. Miami gets Clemson, FSU, and Pittsburgh all together. To be honest with you, the beginning of the Miami schedule, I kind of hate it because they play on a Friday, and they play on a Thursday, then they play on a Friday.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the fourth week of the season, the rest of the nation is going to say, is the University of Miami even playing? And there's no build-up to a big home game at the beginning of the season. The first big home game for Miami is Florida State. Last year, it was Notre Dame. I guarantee you, you can walk through Miami or Fort Lauderdale, wherever you want to go. Hurricane fans already have their eye black on. They want to see a game. And they don't get to see a good game until October the 17th. At any rate, Clemson is week 5. It does give Miami 4 weeks to get ready for Clemson. I'm not sure what they're going to have. Clemson's got 16 new players. They go into the portal for the first time. Then Miami has a bye week. Then they get Florida State. People are not very high on FSU, but that's always an emotional, grinding game. And then after FSU, Miami, after FSU, they've got a game every single week, so they got to be ready to play.
Let me ask you this, Joe. With the way that Malachi Tony came on the scene last year, and now he's a household name. Everybody knows who he is. How do you think he's going to respond with the double teams he's going to get this year? Because he's going to be the marked man out there, because obviously you got other weapons. But how do you think he's going to respond with that? Because he's going to get the double coverage. They're going to try to do everything, the game plan against him, to not let him go wild and crazy like he did last year. What do you think about that, Joe?
I think he's going to have to play through contact. I think he's going to have to get accustomed to being viced, and I think he's going to have to get accustomed in the red zone for teams putting two guys on him, either over and under or vicing him. And I think during the spring, wisely, I think Shannon Dawson maybe had this conversation with his defensive coordinator to put Malachi in those situations so that he would have to play through it, and that Darian Mensah would also have to understand that when Miami's in the red zone and they would like to target Malachi, he might have to buy some time for Malachi to get open. So he might have to look someplace else to one of his other receivers, which he did very well in the spring. So I think Miami knows it's coming. They're anticipating it. They're going to plan for it. But then they've got to be able to execute it when it happens. But there is no question it is going to happen.
Yeah. We're talking with Joe Zagacki here, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes. Joe, when you look at Mensah, when you're talking about this kid, he can move. He's got a great arm. Like you said, he doesn't turn the ball over much. Is this gonna be the year that Miami has somebody in New York looking at possibly winning the Heisman?
Well, Cam Ward was in New York, so he looked at it. He didn't win it, but he at least looked at it. And maybe Mensah brings it home with him. He's going to have plenty of talent around him. There was some discussion that a year ago, some of the games that Duke got tripped up in, he didn't play his best football. And then I countered that by saying, okay, but he was the MVP of the ACC championship game, and he was the MVP of the Sun Bowl. So their last two games, he played great. And for the most part, he played at a high level all year long and probably didn't have the same weapons that he has at Miami, although he did bring Cooper Barkate came with him from Duke, and it was clear in the spring that there's a chemistry between Barkate and Mensah. And Barkate, really smart, really clever, good chemistry with Mensah, and is a guy that hard to cover. He's 6'4", gets open, knows how to get open, and I think that, going back to your previous question with Malachi, is probably going to take a little pressure off of Malachi. And I also think that they did a good job last year putting older players around Tony, and they C.J. Daniels was a great mentor for Malachi, and I think Barkate picks up that role for Malachi this season.
Joe, one of our listeners, he is a huge Miami fan. He has a question for you. He said that to ask you about J.J. Dunnigan and how he ran Conrad Hussey out of town before spring camp ended.
Well, I don't know if he ran him out of town, but I know this: when you're on the football field and your eyes flash, you go, "Ooh, who's that guy?" Because he can run, he can make plays. He's big. I think he's listed at 6'3", so he's every bit of 6'3". He's from Kansas. I thought he had a great spring, and it didn't take me long to go, who's that guy? But I think he's going to be a player that does contribute. His size, his strength, his speed, his recruiting bio. He was a 4-star player, listed as a safety, Under Armour, All-American, and during the spring, he lived up to a lot of the hype. I thought he was really, really good in spring football, and I think he'll probably he will probably contribute to the Miami secondary this year. I think he's versatile, and Corey Heatherman loves that kind of versatility.
Is Mohamed Tour back?
He is for his 27th season. Miami has two linebackers, Chase Smith and Torrey. Between them,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think they've got like 16 years of experience. They have more experience than a couple of NFL linebackers. But Torrey played great at the end of the season. Actually, I thought he was really good all year long. Made the big hit against Texas A&M on the goal line right before Bryce Fitzgerald ended the game with an interception. Led Miami in tackles with 73. Mm-hmm. Chase Smith, his father, Willie, was an All-American tight end in Miami. So he's a legacy player. Chase overcoming one severe knee injury. But as last season went on, he just played better and better and better. And when he starts this year against Stanford, it'll be his 43rd game. So that'll be good experience between Smith and Torrey at linebacker, because they've got to replace Wesley Bassett, who graduated, and then Raleigh Popo, he transferred to North Carolina State. So they'll have Bonner and Pruitt, Smith and Torrey, and then a bunch of other guys at linebacker with high expectations like Kellen Wiley. So I think linebacker will be a very good position for Miami.
So Torrey is basically just relentless, and he never gives up, and he's going to be inside the play on every possible chance, right?
He was last year.
Hopefully it happened again.
He's very physical. They call him Mo the Menace for a reason. He was with Corey Heatherman a couple of years ago at Rutgers. So I think he understood what Heatherman wanted in the defense. So I think he was able to bring that kind of leadership to the Miami defense. And as I said, as the season went on, he just got better and better. So I think at linebacker, because of the experience, Smith and Torrey give Miami a good jump start at that spot.
Well, Joe, we sure do appreciate you coming on and giving us everything that you always do, which is the greatest, and we appreciate you so much. And we definitely are going to call you back and have you back on the show as the season gets closer and as practice starts gearing up. So thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate you.
All right, fellas, thank you. A month from now, we'll be almost ready. We'll be getting ready to go to Palo Alto for the first game of the season.
Well, have fun over there.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, Joe, thank you so much. The great Joe Sagacki, the voice of the Miami Hurricanes, joining us right here on the Sports Blitz. When we come back, we're going to dive into more and more, talk about what's going on. And we see you guys on here talking on the Facebook page, the Gators and Hurricanes already fighting. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
You know what's the sad part is if somebody's pretty, you don't think that they're tough. But I'm going to tell you right now. No.
I can't believe you just said
Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman. You would think that this guy's all made up and everything, but the guy was actually pretty tough.
All right, let the record show that no man is pretty to me. All right?
Can we get Jeff's top 10?
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Wednesday. Partly cloudy and sprinkling tonight with a gentle breeze at 9 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and temps near 83. Tomorrow morning we will have very light rain and a chance of thunderstorms and be hot at 87. Likely thunderstorms and very light showers in the afternoon and evening and a high 89. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Instant Replay Sports Cards welcomes former Kansas City Royal pitcher Randy McGilberry. He's going to be at Instant Replay Sports Cards for a book signing on Saturday, August 1st from 1 to 3. Get the new book, Dare to Dream, Believing in Yourself by Randy McGilberry. Come meet Randy, get personalized autographs, and have your photo taken with an MLB legend. Don't miss this special event Saturday, August 1st at Instant Replay Sports Cards, 752 West 23rd Street in the Sanford State Station, Panama City.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
His major in college?
We're going streaking through the quad.
LSU Jeff is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
Come on, everybody, we're going.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Here we go.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves are off tonight. As far as on the station, they will pick back up tomorrow. 6 o'clock is the coverage time. First pitch is 6:15. They'll be taking on the Washington Nationals. The Braves on the Gulf Coast is sponsored by Hewitt Tire and Auto, Brock Pest Control, Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Cito, and Blue Diamond Truck Accessories right here at 104.3. If you want to be a part of this show, you can be. All you got to do is call on the Tropical Spas and Pool phone line, 850-215-6290. You can text in or call in. I'm looking at what you guys are writing on the Facebook page. We've got an all-out brawl going on between the Gators and the Hurricanes.
They don't even play each other this year.
A team without a stadium that can't win anything after leaving the Big East can't say anything. I wonder if the announcer can hear his echo in his empty stadium. There you go. You've had, and here's the response, you've had lots of worse coaches in your lifetime. Spurrier and Meyer, you got lucky twice. No coach since I've been alive is worse than Napier. Ron Zook ain't walking through that door. There you go. So, yeah, they're going at it.
Ron Zook enters the conversation.
That's right. We never would have thought today we'd have heard the name Ron Zook, you know. And I guess we could ask that question. Who's been Florida's worst football coach? Who's been Miami's worst football coach? Because both of them, for the most part, has had them. I mean, you can add everybody to this list and say who's had the worst head football coach in Gator history. I mean, based off of numbers.
That sounds like a research number for me.
Yeah, you'd have to do it because
pull it up.
You'd bring up some 1917
I actually was thinking about the 1980s. Because even though they had a couple of big upsets and everything, the Gators were kind of not the talk of the town.
Yeah.
They kind of dipped for a little bit. And that's when Philip Fulmer and Tennessee was starting to do a little bit of thing. And Bear Bryant was getting up in age, and LSU kind of stepped in a little bit. And then Bo Jackson popped his head up. And you think about it, I mean, Florida really wasn't the talk until Spurrier got there.
That is true. He really revived that whole program, brought them back out of the mire, really, when you look at how deep they were in. I mean, they were not very good. Like you said, they had a few players.
They were on probation in the 80s, early 80s, yeah.
And they had a few players that would make it and become good and all of that. I mean, if you look at, you know, just how it happened with Emmett Smith.
And guess what two programs arose out of the 80s?
Tell us.
The Hurricanes and the Seminoles.
That is true.
So then there was competition in the state for all those recruits.
Yeah.
They let those people in.
Because that was how it happened.
Yeah. And when Joe Sadecki was talking about the Florida State-Miami rivalry, I remember back in 92, 93, 94, all the LSU fans and all that were gathered around the TV watching that game and watching wide right, wide left. You know, I mean, it was entertaining. Entertaining football.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Big plays.
That used to be it. And if you remember, I mean, they were guys that were getting drafted every year.
Yeah.
I mean, you could sit here and name the Warwicks, Peter Warwick, and Warwick Dunn.
Yeah.
I mean, you could name those guys. And then
Charlie Ward.
Just as well, you could name them on the Miami side. I mean, which we know all of them. I mean, they had all those guys as well.
Tons. Every quarterback that stepped in, it was almost like a Notre Dame quarterbacks had almost been forgotten, and then the Miami quarterbacks, one after another, were popping their heads up in the national title race.
Yeah. No, you're exactly
I mean, Gino
right.
Toretta won a Heisman. Let's be honest.
True.
Would he have won it anywhere else? Probably not.
Who dominated, Gino, in the national championship?
That'd be George Teague.
That would be Alabama. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, we could sit here and name all of the quarterbacks that came through.
Yeah.
And so really when you look at it, how you determine whether or not you're going to be good in the SEC or good on the national stage is you got to have a good quarterback. And it looks like Miami is trying to do that.
Third time in a row. Transfers in.
Cam Ward started it. Carson Beck, and now Darian Menza. I mean, and you know, as they kind of, it's almost like Cristobal is just doing this level of stepping. It's just like every year they start getting better and better.
And we talked about the schedule. It's very favorable. It's looking really good.
Yeah.
I mean, we could easily be talking about an 11-1 team easily.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. You're exactly right. With that schedule.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did read where Multiconti said that the Wake Forest game is not going to be a pushover like you think. They're actually going to be good. But I haven't had any chance to look at the ACC. But it's kind of laughable because I did have a little bit of hope in the ACC last year. And so I said a lot of good stuff about them, but they were not very good.
Well, they ate each other up, and then some teams just dropped off. Georgia Tech and Louisville were being talked about, and then they just dropped off.
They just did
and
not
all
have
of a sudden, we got Virginia and Duke in the championship game. I'm so glad that the ACC has revised their ways to get to the title game. You cannot be 7-5 and get to the title game any longer because the ACC has eliminated that option.
Yep, and they made it very clear that whoever has the best chance to make it to the college football playoff is who's going to be playing in their championship game.
Yeah.
I will make a statement that Scott Mills just said. He said, how good would a Florida State have been if Randy Moss didn't get kicked out back with Bobby Bowden?
I don't think it would have really changed much. They wouldn't have had any more national titles. I mean, one player does do a lot, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of great athletes who played somewhere and just did not win at all, you know? Devin Hester was unbelievable.
But there were some that were great that did cause their team to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
And some of them lost, like Raghib Ismail for Notre Dame. He should have won a national title, and it got called back. The play got called back, and Colorado ends up winning a national title that year.
Yeah.
That was absurd.
Yeah, that's very bad.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a little bit about college football. Let's talk about we talked about the Big Ten Media Days has started. So they started talking about
Ohio State was today, Michigan's tomorrow.
Yeah, and Indiana's tomorrow, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Oregon's today with Ohio State. One of the big topics that has been discussed was the commissioner of the Big Ten was talking, and he said that the Big Ten is 100% solidified in going to 24 for the college football playoffs. So 100%.
If the SEC is not there, how are they going to fill it?
They're talking about that the SEC is the only conference that isn't going. And then even Lincoln Riley during some of his presser today was asked about the 24, and he said there's a lot of times that the coaches, we're in a room together, and there's a lot of different votes. He said, but there was one unified vote, and that was the Big Ten coaches all agree it needs to go to 24.
Wow.
So all of those guys are in agreement going to 24. So unfortunately,
so if this is a democracy,
you,
it's going to happen.
Yeah. So for you, I know you're hating it. You've hated the format. You've hated how they do this and how they do that. The only good thing I can say that hopefully you will, hope to get in this, because the thing about all of this is what you don't want. And that is blowouts. That's your biggest concern.
No. Also,
you don't want these guys coming in and getting blown out. They shouldn't have been there.
I don't
in the
want
beginning.
undeserved teams to make the playoffs. I don't want. There's going to be multiple 8-4s, Paul. We don't want multiple 8-4s being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, but when you think about it, when you allow these teams to get in there, it really depends on their schedule. You're really just talking about outside of the Big Ten and the SEC. Right. I mean, because if Oregon, and I don't know their schedule well enough to say this, if Oregon plays okay, let's just say Ohio State. All right, let's just give Ohio State because I do know they're playing Texas. All right, say Texas are who everybody says they are. Okay, and Ohio State loses by 3 or a touchdown to Texas early on in the year, so they lose to Texas. So then say they play Oregon and they lose to Oregon by a field goal. All right, then they play Indiana and they run Indiana to overtime, but they end up losing the game. All right, so they're 8. That's 3 losses.
Yeah.
All right, and then they don't play. They go play Michigan, and maybe they beat Michigan, who might have lost 3 or 4 games with a field goal at the end. Well, they lost to 3 of the best teams in college football. So why are we going to penalize them for playing the best just because their record is not what 11-2 or 11-1 or 10-2 Big 12 team is or an ACC team is when they've played nobody?
Okay, in verse, what have they always said? They've always said, we're not going to penalize you for playing a conference championship game.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
10-2 Virginia.
Right.
Lost in overtime to Duke.
Yeah. What
happened to them? They got penalized for playing a conference championship that Miami couldn't even make it to. I'm just saying, 10-2 to 10-3, and all of a sudden they're out. They'll be in any other year if there's 24 teams.
Right. Well,
you'll be looking at the Cavaliers.
Now, this was another thing that was brought up during this conversation. I'm glad you said that. The Big Ten has said, and this is the commissioner, he said, if we do indeed move to 24, which we are for, and we will move there, he feels very confident. He said the Big Ten will be doing away with a conference championship game. So that is going to be out of reach. There's not going to be any more championship games, I don't believe, in conference. And do you like that? It's going to take away you're going to have a regular season champion, and it's going to be based off of schedule and results. That's what it's going to be. You're going to win you're going to win the championship, but you're not going to play a championship game. That'll be how it goes. So if you go undefeated or you only lose 1 game and you win the tiebreakers in the conference for the year. And really, to me, I'm going to go first on this. That's your body of work. That's what you're doing anyway. Your body of work is what your record is. Why do I need to play Ohio State if I'm Michigan twice? Why do I need to play Ohio State if I've played all these other guys? Why do I have to play them again? Why do I have to play them again? And not only that, but what if they, they're the poster child of this. Yeah, they lucked out with Carvel Jones and was able to do this or that. But at the end of it all, this is what's better. I mean, look at what Alabama looked like against Georgia. You can't tell me Indiana didn't say, hey, here's a weakness there, there's a weakness there, there's a weakness there, boom, we're going to do the same thing. And they did.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, not every conference is the SEC. And if anybody has benefited from having a conference championship, it's been the SEC. Because 80% of the time, it's been competitive. And it's usually the 2 best teams. And now that we've eliminated divisions, you take the 2 top teams. And Bama did have 2 losses and Ole Miss only had 1. But Bama was in last year. But you know who's not gotten the conference championship right more often than anybody? Is the Big Ten. Because this past year, sure, is irrelevant because Oregon and Ohio State, they weren't playing each other again. They were both undefeated going against each other. And the year before that, they got it wrong. And you know why? Because Penn State slipped in there because Ohio State got upset by Michigan at the end of the year and took the second loss, and they were sitting out on the outside. And everybody knew that Ohio State was a top 2 team in the Big Ten, but they weren't in the Big Ten championship. We've had Wisconsin get blown out back in the days when they had Legends and Leaders division.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of
terrible.
tacky.
Yeah.
It was awful. So the Big Ten getting rid of it, not really missing it. Sorry. I don't want to be absolutely not a Big Ten homer there.
It's going to be par for the course for the SEC and all the other conferences to follow suit.
Yeah.
And especially going because you don't want to have those extra games. You don't want to have teams. I don't want to have a team that I'm coaching to play more games than the team that I'm preparing for in the playoff. To me, that's too much. I think that's unfair. and you're penalizing me for being good during this season.
And you want to say that the championship game is not going to hurt you for playing that extra game? Well, guess what? Go ahead and pick out all the teams before that.
Right.
And the only teams you're waiting on is Army and Navy, because they're the only ones that are going to be playing a substantial game after that.
They probably will have to change the schedule of college football at the end so that it starts early with this many teams, so that we won't have such an off week.
Yeah.
I think you said it yesterday, but I think this weekend is the last Sunday
without football till February. But
now,
Saturdays, we still have a bunch more before we really get into the season and everything. But preseason for NFL starts now. And then that 1 week at the very end of the NFL preseason, there's not SEC. There's college football games being played on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right before the NFL season.
I'm just saying, it's exciting time. Yeah. Football season's about to start.
Oh, man,
it's going to be crazy.
You want to talk about content? We're going from talking about WNBA.
Oh, we haven't talked about the WNBA. You've talked about the WNBA. I mean, you know what? I'm going to say this, guys. I don't know if you realize this or not. When I come into the studio today, Jeff beat me here today when I walked in, and he was watching a WNBA video. And that's what's crazy is Jeff's into it, guys. So if you need anything, we might do a WNBA segment and let Jeff just take it all. I'll go sit out in the lobby. And but either way, you know what? It's great when it rains. It's great when it's hot. We live in Florida. You never know. The weather is unpredictable. But you know what's not predictable? Having a place to go to where your kids can be safe and have a great time. Do play in Panama City, 287 Aberdeen Parkway, right there by the Lynn Haven Sports Complex. You don't want to miss it. They've got their big time anniversary, 1 year anniversary this Saturday from 11 to 7. Right there. It's going to be a fantastic day. You can go in for free. You can look at the place. You can see what's going on. You can see all the stuff that they have to offer, all the drinks, all the food, all the playgrounds, all of the turf fields, all of the basketball fields. All the trainers are going to be there as well. So you can talk to those trainers and sign up for your kid to get some training, maybe baseball, basketball, football, soccer, any of the things that they offer there. And I'm telling you, it's just a wonderful place. So go see them right there at 287 Aberdeen Parkway. You can also go to their website, doplayonline.com, or you can check out their Facebook page. They got all kinds of stuff. There is one thing that they're doing on Tuesday nights, and I don't think everybody knows this, but Tuesday nights is adult dodgeball. So you can go on and sign up for adult dodgeball. That would be fantastic to go out there and play.
Yeah, let's get Jeff in there.
Oh, man.
Be beaming a ball.
Yeah. Talking about beamer ball, that'd be some beaming ball right there. But either way, we're going to go ahead and take our next break. When we come back, we are going to finish it up and talk about a little bit more of this. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
We got on the phone line Jeffrey Fry, former Major League player. Has baseball really changed so much from when you played?
I think it's changed drastically. And after you get that long home run, you got to stand and admire it and throw your bat and dance around the bases and shoot a three-pointer before you get to third and then pound your chest a few times.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays, 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
At Brock Lawn and Pest Control, we're proud to be awarded the distinction of being Quality Pro certified.
Our technicians have passed rigorous training in eco-friendly application and prevention of pest treatments.
Part of the program is the practice of integrated pest management.
IPM's goal is to prevent pests from ever entering your home. It includes inspection, prevention, education, and, when necessary, application.
We're proud to be Quality Pro certified.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, the standard and level of trust.
Thanks for the take, caller, but the truth is these Florida Gators are ready to compete in the SEC right now. Lane Kiffin is going to self-destruct at LSU. They're not going to the playoffs. You can take back to the bank. You heard it right here.
Have you ever listened to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and thought, I could do that? Well, maybe you can. We're in search of fresh local voices to join our on-air lineup. Are you the person everybody argues sports with at work? The one your friends say should have a radio show? Then maybe it's time to stop yelling at the dashboard and start talking into a microphone. If you're a sports fanatic, we want to hear from you. Previous radio experience is helpful, but personality, authenticity, and the ability to connect with listeners matter even more. This is your chance to be heard across the Panhandle. If you think you got what it takes to host a show on the Sports Talk Monster, send 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida a short audio sample of your hot take, big reaction, or lean-in conversation, and tell us about yourself. Don't snooze on this one. Email espnpanamacity@gmail.com. That's espnpanamacity@gmail.com.
Broadcasting from the heart of the Gulf Coast and streaming to every corner of the map. This is the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your spot for the Atlanta Braves. Don't forget the Braves. They're playing, but not on the air today with us. They'll be back on the air tomorrow against the Washington Nationals. They're going to be playing at 6 o'clock is the coverage time. 6:15 is the first pitch. If you want to be a part of this show, you still can be. About 15 minutes left. Tropical Spas and Pool phone line is wide open. 850-215-6290. Some very comical stuff going on Facebook. Who's better, the Hurricanes or the Gators? That's what the topic is. Who's the most famous Gator ever? Who's the most famous Hurricane ever? Really, when you think about who would you say is the most famous Gator ever? Like, it doesn't matter
as far as athletes go?
No, it don't have to be an athlete. If they went to the University of Florida and became famous, or maybe became a president, or because, I don't know.
No presidents, but we have Marco Rubio, who's in the cabinet for Trump, right?
Yeah, so he's famous.
I've actually met him in Miami International Airport.
Nice guy?
Nice guy, didn't impress me. Sorry.
He's short, though, right?
He's
definitely wouldn't be a quarterback at Miami.
Was he 6 foot or 5'11"? Yeah, I think he was right up in that range. I wouldn't call him short.
Okay.
But he was nice. He talked to me.
Nice?
Yeah.
And that was while he's been in the cabinet, or this is a long time ago?
He was in the Congress.
Okay, so he talked to you. That's pretty good. Some of these guys act like they're.
Oh yeah,
like
I don't have
good
time for you. I'm not going to sign any autographs, even though you don't want it.
Right.
Faye Dunaway, actress, big deal. Ryan Lochte, swimmer who swam with Phelps. He was kind of a big deal. He has gold medals. I'm sorry, Olympic gold medalist.
Tim Tebow's more famous than him.
Abby Wambach, back-to-back national champion in women's soccer. She's the second most decorated soccer woman ever.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
It has to be Tim Tebow, because
Tim Tebow's huge, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if Tom Petty ever actually – I know he didn't graduate, but I don't know if he actually attended the college. That I do not know, because there's a difference between being a graduate and being alumni.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spurrier, man, people leave out Spurrier's name, but hey, look.
You love Spurrier.
I'm sorry. The guy has a Heisman Trophy, and as a coach, he has a national championship. A champion. He is a top 5. You can't bump him out of the top 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, I do.
Emmitt Smith, top 10 easy for Florida grads.
Yeah, I mean, when you type it in, when you look it up, it's Tim Tebow, Emmitt Smith, and Steve Spurrier. I mean, those are the guys.
That's the Mount Rushmore right there.
Yeah, for
sure. And Emmitt Smith probably barely gets in because his college career was not what his pro career was. He defined himself with his pro career.
Yeah. And then when you think about the Hurricanes, I mean, obviously the list. But are they more famous than Tim Tebow or Emmitt Smith or Steve Spurrier? I mean, Jimmy Johnson, during his time with the Cowboys, playing for America's team,
he was more famous with the Cowboys than he was the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And you can disagree with me, but that's how I feel.
Really?
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson with two back-to-back Super Bowl wins, and the way that team was and how he built it so quickly and everything and ascended so quickly. I mean, just come on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, Howard Schellenberger is the one who built the Hurricanes first.
Yeah. Okay.
And then coaches after that, like Larry Coker or other coaches, they did well after Jimmy Johnson was gone. So that says something.
Well, we gotta look at it because I looked it up. I cheated. You know, it happens that way. Sometimes I'll cheat.
No.
We're forgetting the most famous Miami Hurricane of all time.
Jim Kelly.
No. Shoot. No, not even close.
Who is it?
If you smell what The Rock is cooking, Dwayne Johnson has to be top 1 or 2 in there as far as the most famous hurricane.
But in 7 or 8 years, I'm going to disagree. He's going to drop off. He's not going to be the big super movie star that he is. And the young people are going to be like, who?
No, I don't think
Who?
Okay, because the next guy you would have thought he would have been the same way, but he's not. When I tell you the next most famous, or it could be he is the most famous, Miami University, not playing football, but went to Miami University.
Okay.
Is Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky Balboa.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rocky Balboa.
How old is he? You know, I mean, he's old, right?
Yeah, he's up there.
So, I mean, you know, I don't know. Who's the most famous person to ever go to LSU?
It's not James Carville.
Who?
James Carville. It's a politician. It's a political analyst and everything. He's been on all kind of networks with news, like ABC and NBC and CNN. He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Shoot, I mean, again, you're gonna have a bunch of sports guys, and then you're gonna have some governors. No presidents. You know.
Yeah.
We're kind of lacking on that. You know, a lot of. I don't even say bigger colleges. Certain colleges just kind of breed out presidents, and Michigan is one of them, and Virginia is another one.
Yeah, now that's
Harvard. And
they're
Yale.
all Harvard. I was going to say the Penn School. So I did look up some famous people that did go to Florida. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Sidney Poitier would be famous. I mean, he's famous, but
he's the first black Best Actor award for Look Who Came to Dinner. Is that the name of the movie?
Jeff.
Or Guess Who Came to Dinner?
Jeff.
What it was. It was before I was born, and it was a huge film. And the fact that a black male actor got the Best Actor award was like a huge deal back before I was born.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like groundbreaking, as you could say.
So I got a little bit of a little right here. We got about 9 minutes before we get off the air. I want to talk about, because it is the Big Ten and we're not Big Ten homers, right? We will have some Big Ten homers coming on. Well, one Big Ten homer, one SEC homer coming on Friday. And don't forget, we will have Mosley star Adam Land, who had his first spring with the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He will be coming in at 5 o'clock on Friday to talk about his experience.
And what does he play?
And tight end. So we'll be talking with Adam. He'll be coming in. So that's
how much weight has he gained?
Yeah, and he is nursing an injury, and supposedly I think he is back. So I think he is all the way back or close anyway. So we'll definitely talk to him. But either way, just a little bit of a prenup for what's coming soon. The record all time against Big Ten and SEC.
Yeah.
All right. We're just going to be the SEC. So if you had an opportunity to say who's got the worst record against current Big Ten teams. Now, it's the current Big Ten, all right? It's not when they played, all of that. But the current Big Ten.
Got it. I got it.
Who do you think has the worst record?
I'm going to go South Carolina.
South Carolina, actually, they do have a losing record against the Big Ten, but they're 19-28.
Okay.
All time against the Big Ten teams that are in the Big Ten now.
Yeah.
The worst record is 4-13-1. That would be the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Oh, okay.
Mississippi State's 5-12-1. Okay. Ole Miss is 4-4. Did you think that they only played?
They just don't travel.
They don't travel. They don't really play.
Because they don't recruit up there. Why do they even leave the South? They don't. They're not going to get people from Indiana to come down to Oxford.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. You'd be surprised. I bet you Kentucky has a winning record.
They do not.
What?
Kentucky is 30-38 against the Big Ten players.
It's a lot of games, though.
Missouri is 88-132-8. So that's not very good.
They used to play Illinois a lot more.
Yes. So then let's move into we still got one more team that is either 500 or below, and that would be the LSU Tigers.
19-19?
Yeah, with
a tie.
And 2 ties.
2 ties.
19-19 with 2 ties.
Yeah, I've seen that before. We're completely average against the Big Ten. But here's the thing about it. I'll tell you, 2 teams that are not traditional Big Ten teams that both have a winning record against us.
USC.
You got it.
And
Nebraska.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty competitive with Penn State, who's also not an original. But as far as the traditional Big Ten teams go, I believe we have really good records. Like we have a winning record against Ohio State, which you would not think, but we do. But yeah, Nebraska's kind of had our number. USC, I think UCLA has kind of gone back and forth with us, and I don't think Oregon's ever beaten us. So, it's just a hit or miss, you know.
We're gonna go ahead and run through these real quick.
Bama's got like 80 wins.
Tennessee is 30-26-2.
So they're
winning. Not bad.
They're winning.
Auburn is 17-14-2.
They just don't play enough.
Texas is 41-29.
That's pretty good.
Oklahoma 80
huge
54
80-54. Okay. Wow.
The Gators, they're 30-19-2 against the Big Ten.
That's decent.
Georgia is 18-11-1.
They don't travel north.
Nope. And Alabama 42-22 against the Big Ten. And you have to think that a lot of those games was back in the day or in the playoffs. You know, because, last year they lost to a Big Ten team, Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Lost to Ohio State in 2013 or 14 or whatever.
And beat them in 2020. Beat Ohio State in 2020. Yeah. Lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
Saban's last year. So, I mean,
let's talk about Ohio State. They lost to Florida and LSU in national championship games.
Yeah.
Ohio State's not really done very well, and that's been the marquee team for this century.
Right. For the Big Ten.
Yes.
That's what you're saying, for the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Ohio State to me is still the team to beat in the Big Ten, even though I know you said yesterday that Indiana won it. But, I mean, when you think about them, that's who you think about when you're talking about the Big Ten. But, again, I think it's going to be a very interesting season with the Big Ten. We will have a lot of talk about. I want to see what Ryan Day had to say. I want to see what he's talking about because you know how he is. I'm not a big fan of him. I'm not a big fan. What's the biggest story coming out of the Big Ten? I think it's going to be how well Kyle Whittingham does with Bryce Underwood in Michigan. I mean, that's going to be one. And then another one would probably be how is Kirk Cignetti going to handle success because he's never really had it here. How is he going to handle it?
I think the biggest story is Indiana.
Yeah.